The U.S. has defended an airstrike in Syria that killed 80 people back in 2019, calling it an act of self-defense. The incident, though, only came to light this week, and the military's been accused of trying to cover it up. The following video was filmed by a Syrian cameraman and is believed to show the aftermath of the strike near the Iraqi border. The area was the last Islamic State stronghold at the time. According to U.S. Central Command, 16 of those killed in the bombing were militants, 4 were civilians. Washington has not clarified who the other 60 people were, although it has basically acknowledged they were most likely civilians. RT's Donald Corder now takes a closer look at why it's taken so long for this tragedy to even be reported.
U.S. military command was silent about it for years. An airstrike that took the lives of about 80 people, mostly women and children, in the last days of the Syrian civil war. And it's only thanks to a New York Times investigation that the U.S. military finally fessed up.
The exact mixture of armed and unarmed personnel could not be conclusively determined. Likely, a majority of those killed were also combatants at the time of the strike. These 2 strikes were legitimate self-defense strikes. No disciplinary actions were warranted.
We investigated ourselves and decided there will not be any punishments. How surprising. For Washington, though, it's a lot like Groundhog Day. The most recent rerun was back in August, when a drone strike in Kabul killed 10 civilians, including 7 children. The Pentagon initially said it didn't do anything wrong. After an internal investigation, it backtracked a bit, but still said that the soldiers involved were acting in good faith.
They all had a genuine belief, based on the information they had, the interpretations, that that was a threat to U.S. forces, an imminent threat to U.S. forces. That's a mistake. It's a regrettable mistake. It's an honest mistake. I understand the consequences.
An honest mistake. I'm sure that will make the relatives of the victims feel a lot better.
They say ISIS-K lived in this house. In this house were these children, members of ISIS-K. A stupid thought without any proof, without any investigation. They attacked us and killed our children, and we will never forgive them.
Unfortunately, the list of collateral damage inflicted by U.S. forces doesn't stop there. After so many accidents, you'd think some international body might try to investigate at least one of them. But when the prime suspect seems to be itching to impose sanctions on its detractors, is anyone surprised anymore at the apparent lack of accountability?
In instances like this, you're never going to have any accountability anywhere. No one's going to take the heat unless it's someone at the very lowest levels. Who's going to challenge that? Who's going to defy that? There's no higher authority to say, no, wait a minute, this is crazy. Nothing's going to be done. It'll be another case of justice not being rendered, and life goes on, and everyone will forget about it except the immediate families. People didn't know who ordered the strike, and it allegedly was done by a unit that isn't accountable to anybody. What kind of unit is that? The whole effort is to try and downplay these kinds of atrocities, and because the United States, of course, is killing for democracy at all times. So they think that they have this license to kill, in effect, and that's the unfortunate thing.